Hello again. This is just a short video on setting up my closed keg transfer from the fermentation vessel. I'll just go through a quick inventory of all the bits and bobs that I've used to do this, and then we'll test it out. So firstly, here's my fermentation vessel, or the one that I'll be practicing with. On this particular tap, I have a 10mm hose coming from the tap, but other versions with the black tap that I have a 12mm hose. So I do have this 10 to 12mm adapter, which I would be able to add the end of the hose onto the black tap, and then this into the 10mm hose and make that connection. This is going to go into an inline filter. I don't know if this is necessary at the moment. I have the red Macron filter, which seems okay for hot pellets. So the beer will travel down into here. It will filter through this before it continues its path on to the keg. Now that's going in the black hose. I won't put this on actually yet. I'll just show you that will sit on the center piece on the spear, which has a drip tube all the way down to the bottom, so the beer will be going directly to the bottom. Obviously, to release that volume, the contents of the keg will be coming out of this tube, and I'm going to purge this keg of CO2 before I start. So this keg full of CO2 will be displaced back up this tube. It's a long tube at the moment. I haven't cut them to length really, but that will come back down into the top of the fermenter. This is a broken grommet here that I've got, but on my actual fermenters that will sit tight in there. So as the beer is displaced by gravity out to the tap, CO2 will be replaced through the top, and we won't get any oxygenation of the beer. Just quickly to show you the type of black tap that I do have. Actually, the trub layer in this beer is very low. I'm going to lose quite a lot more beer than I expect to, but probably just put that in a small keg and drink it immediately. That's Mangrove's Jack's Abbey Ale coming along there. So a quick word on purging the keg. I will originally fill this full of Starsan sanitizer. It's a no rinse sanitizer. I will then purge the sanitizer out using this soda stream. So I will lock that in there, put CO2 into it. Out this party tap, I will use here, locking on there, to remove the sanitizer. And so I'm completely confident that the keg will be full of CO2 only and no oxygen. There's not really any point in doing this procedure if you're not going to purge the keg, because you're just putting oxygen back into the fermenter. So you need it to be 100% CO2 in there. Like I say, it's a no rinse sanitizer. It's Chemsan that I'll be using. If anyone wants to know what the bottle of Chemsan here's 500 mils. I've had this for a month or so. It can be reused. It's looking still pretty full. So now with my connections made, there's another reducer there. This is a 6mm pipe here, 6mm to 10mm reducer coming off of the beer filter. Right, so here he goes. If I open the tap here, we have the water that I'm using as an experiment coming down through the filter and into the keg. So it's very hard to see it working with a clear liquid. Right. Yeah, so I just heard the liquid going in. So it does work. Excellent. Can't wait to try it out in a couple of weeks when my Mangrove Jack's M47 Belgian Abbey beer is going to be ready. Just a last look at the inventory that I used to do most of this, the little bits and bobs I mean. These are about £5 a pair. This one is white actually. I'm used to them being grey for the carbon dioxide fitting. I have a feeling that this is just a white black fitting, as it were, a beer tap fitting, so it might be the wrong one, but you need to get a pair of those, one for each connector. These are 6mm pipes which connect to the beer, and that's why I believe that this is probably wrong. These spears are the same. I thought the CO2 one had a different fitting, but anyway, they do fit. They're just a bit more awkward to get on and off. I've got the 10mm pipe because I'm using this beer filter, and 10mm fits onto the red tap that I had there in the video. This beer filter is about £30. I'm not sure if it's necessary yet. I just wanted to be sure. So I have a reducer that fits 6mm to 10mm. This was like, I don't know, £1 or something on eBay. You can probably get it cheaper if you go to a specialist shop. And again here, if I'm using the black tap, this is a 12mm pipe, so I need to 12mm into 10mm to get it into the beer filter. Now I could just go 12 to 6mm if I skip the beer filter, which might be how I go in the future with this one, as there's not much trub. And I'm not dry hopping. This is really for dry hopping, to get rid of those hot particles. Even after the cold crash, you don't want any hot particles going in there into the keg. And lastly, using the SodaStream, I have this regulator which I bought off of eBay for SodaStream. It comes with this grey connector. That was about £30, maybe £28 or something. Party tap wasn't much. There's not much of a length of tube on this one. I think in the end I'd like to replace that for a much longer one. That'll be depending on whether I get a kegerator. And this little thing here, I think I paid £13 for this. This is so I can attach an empty SodaStream direct to a big CO2 tank, so I can refill it myself. These are about £14 at Argos to refill them. £22 new, so I don't want to be spending that much money every time I need more CO2, especially if I'm using more now for the transfer. I think once you get a large keg, you can get that down to maybe £1 a refill, which is a significant saving. So